Hi guys, my name is Dinsher Singh Syan and I'm an architect by profession and a gearhead by passion. So this is our first YouTube video that we are recording, so please excuse us for the amateur production quality. This video is going to be about my Gypsy, what all I have done to it, and what all went behind the thought and the research, and also what I'm planning to do next. So before we get on to the details, I'll just like to tell you a little bit about how I got into these off-road vehicles. So it started out when I was in college and I wanted a new vehicle. At that particular time, I was very scared to drive our family sedan. So I was asking my father that I want to buy a Honda Brio. Uh, it was actually my father who motivated me to get a Jeep, and we bought a 1997 Mahindra MM540 that we built and restored ourselves. It was a complete off the frame restoration that we did, a complete paint job, mechanical upgradations, and we also built a roll cage together. So very fond memories of that vehicle. After that, I sold it because it was not a four-wheel drive vehicle, and I really wanted to have a four-wheel drive Jeep. So the next vehicle that I got was a 1971 Jeep CJ3B, and it was a wonderful vehicle. I do miss that a lot because it was damn good off-road. And
Follow the damn train, CJ.
so a little bit about that is that it had a DI turbo engine, a lightweight body, and big Maxxis tires. That it was unstoppable off-road, and I really do miss that part of owning the Jeep. After that, I had to sell it, and this is what we got. And the first thing that you might notice in this vehicle is the color, because it's a very different color and you don't get to see a Gypsy in this color. I like to call this color desert tan shade. It's in matte finish, and again, this was chosen by me and my father together. We were inspired by the American Humvees as well as the border patrol jeeps that we have in the Rajasthan area because of the desert camouflage. So I mean, I have received many compliments on how the color looks, and I'm personally very pleased with the outcome. The first thing that I would like to tell you that is visible from the outside as well are the wheels and tires. The first thing that we can pan on to. So the build overall that I have kept for this project is going to be an all-round build. So nothing too fancy or nothing too over the top has been done because I want to keep it workable for every kind of application. So I am using it for recreational driving, I'm using it for off-roading. It is also being used as a secondary vehicle, and it also is apparently used for our farm and other hauling activities. We also tow a trailer with it. We built a trailer for the Jeep as well. And so everything that has been done to the vehicle is very uh, thoughtfully chosen, and I mean, I've done a lot of research to make sure that whatever upgrade I'm doing, it does not negatively impact any other thing. So the first thing that I would like to detail upon is the wheel and tire setup. So these are Continental cross contact all-terrain tires, and the size is 215/75 R15s, and this is the best tire size in my opinion for any Gypsy, because it does not take away the the raw grunt and the performance of the vehicle, and it still makes it capable enough to take off-road. And I was confused between having these tires or Yokohama Geolanders, and as soon as I kept this tire along with the vehicle, I knew that this is looking very nice, and I had to go for these. For the wheels, I chose the Jimny's base model steel wheels. These complement the vehicle very nicely, and even the color, we were thinking about doing a contrast from the body paint, uh, but my father suggested that we should keep it in a monotone theme, so that it looks nice.
Your dad was right, bro.
Absolutely, because I was planning to keep them black or maybe have them in olive green color, but this stands apart. I mean, this looks very nice and fills out the whole canvas, if that's the right word. Guys, so the second upgrade is under the hood of the car. Let me just pop the hood. So this is the heart of the Gypsy. It's a G13BB engine, and it's a very peppy motor, and it likes to be revved a lot. It makes beautiful power all across the RPMs, and so to bring out that character of the motor even better, I chose to go with a full system exhaust, and this is the header of that exhaust. This is a 4 into 2 into 1 long tube header. So the benefit of having a header is basically that it improves the overall pumping of the engine. If I tell you in a simpler way, is that it helps to evacuate the spent air out of the engine efficiently, so that we can bring in more fresh air. The more fresh air we have, the more better combustion we can have and more power we'll make. So that's the basic theory of having an exhaust. So how this helps in the overall build is that it improves the overall efficiency of the engine. We get better throttle response, we also are making better power, and in a way also we are getting good fuel mileage. But with the sound that it makes, and the wish to hear that sound by revving it, we don't get good mileage because of that. So as I took off the factory components of the stock exhaust, there were a lot of heat shields as well. So when they were gone, the under hood temperatures kind of rose up, and to counter that, I had to feed the engine colder air. So that's when my third upgrade was selected, and you can show it by this. This is a snorkel. So this is a ram head style snorkel, and the basic purpose of having a snorkel, most people think that snorkels are for water wading capacity or going into deep waters. However, that is just one of the benefits of having a snorkel. This one is this snorkel basically helps us to feed in the fresh air from the outside environment directly into the engine, because the factory intake is inside the engine bay and it gets kind of hot in here, so the engine takes in hot air. But if we feed it from the outside, and also being on a higher level, we get a lot of dust free air. So in a way, that is feeding the engine colder air, more oxygen, and we are also having a good exhaust, so better overall pumping for the engine, and it helps the performance to be as good as possible without requiring any other tuning or other upgrades that might affect the longevity of the vehicle. So for an engine that likes to be revved, we need to know how much we are pushing the engine. That's where the tachometer comes into play. This is an automated tachometer that was specially brought to India by my friend Kabir. Shout out to Kabir. It's very important to have a tachometer because it helps us to know how much the engine is revving, and installing it was a very technical task, I would say, because it wasn't a direct fit, and I had to do a lot of research to make sure that it was calibrated accurately and it does function how it should. So if anybody who is installing a tachometer in their Gypsy, they want to know how I wired the circuit, feel free to drop a comment and let me know if you want to know that. While we were at the wheels and tires, I missed out one very important upgrade that I installed. So these are called the Lockout hubs. The benefit of having these is basically that even in a part-time four-wheel drive vehicle, when we are driving in two-wheel drive, there's a lot of resistance because of the axles, the drive shafts that are continuously rotating with the front wheels. So to get rid of all that load, what this freewheeling hub basically does is that when we need to have the vehicle in four-wheel drive, we can simply lock it and all of the components will be locked together how it should be. And when they are not being used, we can just put it back into the free mode and everything will be disconnected from the hub. So the benefit of having this is that I have a lighter steering, better acceleration, better lesser resistance, and just one downside is that I cannot engage four-wheel drive just by sitting in the vehicle. I'll have to get out and manually lock the hubs. But since this vehicle is mostly around 80% of the time on the road, so it's a good trade-off. A few other accessories that I installed on the Gypsy to to bring out more character. So these are the fog lights that I added. These look very period correct on the Gypsy because they have kind of an old school character. These are halogens. These are also in the rally yellow color. These are made in Taiwan lights and pretty happy with the performance. After that, as you can see that I have taken off the top of the vehicle. That's the beauty of owning a soft top vehicle, that when the weather is nice you can just roll it all down and enjoy the weather. And this is the favorite corner of the vehicle. This is my sticker area. These are all the parts that have went into the build and adds a nice pop to the whole theme. There's another sticker over here that I would like to showcase. I have like these very nice army green colored interiors as well, and the vehicle is being used for loading my cycles and stuff. Other things that I am planning to do are that I want a rear differential lock, because with the current tire setup it kind of struggles when the terrain gets undulated. So by having a locker I'll make sure that I have power in each of the wheel. And the next thing that I also want to do is not a very major performance upgrade, but it's how I cool the vehicle. So I want to install hood heat extractors. So basically the air that comes into the vehicle will flow from under the hood and extract all the heat from from the engine bay. I have a 3D model for this and I have some simulation softwares as well, and I'll be doing a kind of a wind tunnel test to make sure that I install that vent in the right position. That's it for the vehicle, and if you are curious about anything or would like to know more, you can drop a comment or connect with me on the Instagram. So that's it. That's my Gypsy. Thank you. And one thing I forgot to mention, that I've got these transmits that match the color of my Gypsy as well. So just a nice, driver and the ride combination.